make sure that you are getting them at a rate that is fair. Kasi there's a lot of piracy in the market eh. Sometimes other companies would just pirate some of your people. That's tough. That's a tough game to play. And we don't want to play in that game. Hey guys, welcome back to the Leadership Stack Podcast, the podcast for entrepreneurs by entrepreneurs to increase your leadership, teamwork, and profits. This is your host, Sean C., aka Mr. CEO at 22. Next question, how do you build and foster the right company culture? Ayan, ito na tayo sa medyo madugong part.
I think it really starts on the company's mission and vision and kung ano ba yung importante na values of the company as well. So I think the foundation itself is very crucial in order for you to really have that map. 'Di ba? Kasi kung wala kang roadmap about the company's culture and even values, then you won't be able to really lead your people and build from the foundation that you already have.
Company culture, it's usually a very elusive topic. You hear a lot of people talking about culture and company culture. It's something that you feel, you smell kind of when you enter a place. You just know they're different. What's different about them? The culture, but you can't really say what that is. And how to build a culture is two ways. Number one, just let it happen. Culture will happen whether you are intentional about it or not. And oftentimes, the result of that first way is it is a culture that you would not like.
Yeah.
There's toxicity, bureaucracy, red tape, politics, you name it. The second way of building culture is you build it intentionally. When you try to form culture intentionally, how that looks like is you put processes in place. Culture can be defined as how we do things. That's how it can be defined. How we do things is our culture. It's usually started through processes. How SEO Hacker, for example, has built the culture is we make sure that everyone knows the core values, everyone knows the vision, everyone knows the mission. And what I mean by knows is not just memorizing them, but knowing them on a deep level. Why we have them, why it's important for your work, what the vision has to do with your day to day activities. We define that. We take the time to define these things where we cannot put it as an ROI in our balance sheet na, oh, dinefine natin kaya may ROI tayo. That's not the case. Because when you do these things and the world calls it soft skills or soft things in a business, there's no direct return on investment, such as when making a sale or such as when running an ad and checking how many views you got, how many clicks you got, how many add to carts you got. It's not measurable in numbers. But if you're not intentional about that culture, it will make your company a place that you wouldn't want to work in sometime in the future. So I think that the cost is great about not being intentional. And the benefits are huge when you're intentional because you attract talent and people who are just the kinds of people you want in your team. And one of the things that you could also do is make sure that you are getting them at a rate that is fair. Kasi there's a lot of piracy in the market eh. Sometimes other companies would just pirate some of your people. That's tough. That's a tough game to play. And we don't want to play in that game. And what we do, we just build a culture where people like us would really want to work in there. That way, we don't need to compete in the salary market because no amount of salary will pay for how people feel when they're in my team.
Sean, I have an addition question here. For SEO Hacker, did it help, like, for instance, did you have like trainings or group sessions or let's say may outings ba kayo or, something like that just so that everyone will have a close bonding and you
Yeah.
will get to know each other and even encourage each other about the company culture?
How we build the culture is we start it from day one. So when we Actually, we started from day -6 or
Mm.
-6 kasi yung hiring process pa lang namin mahaba eh. It's a 6-step hiring process, and we have that recorded on a podcast episode as well on Spotify. And only 5% ever gets to pass the hiring process. Out of 20 people, one gets hired. And then, yeah. So, yeah, we have outings. We used to have outings sa SEO Hacker. In fact, you'll see some videos in our jobs portal, seohacker.services/jobs. You'll find the video of our past outing there. Now, we haven't had our outing since the lockdowns and the pandemic because it's too dangerous. And in fact, di nga ako nagpapapasok ng tao sa office eh. Because I can't stomach it if we lose another team player because of me. We have lost someone, not because nagpapasok ako. But that kind of tragedy, I would never want to be the one who is the cause or the reason kaya nagkasakit yung tao, or, I would never be the reason why. So I never asked them to come in the office, and I would never ask also people to go to an outing. I think an outing does a lot, but it's a one-time thing, like once a year, maybe twice a year. Culture is not a one-time or two-time thing. It is something that you live and breathe every day. And for us to be able to reinforce that after the hiring process and after the onboarding, which is already a very colossal way on how we inject the SEO hacker culture to everyone who is playing in the team, we also have meetings every week. So we have our town hall meeting every Monday, make sure everyone's there. We update them about the happenings in the company. So the sales, the accounts we renewed, some of the rankings of our clients, we also mentioned there which one needs to be worked on, and then we break it down to teams. So even on a per team level, we have our meetings. Like my brother, who is the head of operations, meets with the development team, the writing team. I meet with all of the SEO specialists. So we make sure that the culture and relationship. Usually, kasi when you have a team outing, it's less about the culture and more about the relationships being built. So the relationship is intact because we meet every week, we talk every week, and we don't talk all about work. Even though we do it on working hours, which the company pays us for me, building that relationship is also part of work because that strengthens the team. So that's how we do it in SEO Hacker. Next question is from Lara Jean LJ. How do you start and maintain brand awareness for your business?
I think right now, diba, since everyone is online, make sure to take advantage of social media as well for brand awareness for your business. And it actually depends also on your business. Like, for instance, if you're into services as well, I think starting a podcast, diba, Sean, or
Yeah.
anything that will also give value to other people will be a very great way for you to start and maintain brand awareness for your business. So I think anything that will really create an avenue for you to give value to other people. Okay, so it's not just about brand awareness, but it's really about the motivation and the intention behind it as well.
One of the things that my wife mentioned that she learned from John Maxwell is don't build your brand, get good at what you do, which I think is a really good insight. Because even if you pay for advertisement for brand awareness and reach or engagement on Facebook,
Mm.
Instagram, YouTube, you can burn all of this ad money. But if your product or service is not that great, it will
Yeah.
not go far. If you're marketing and advertising a bad product or service, then it will catalyze the destruction of that business. It will catalyze the failure of that business. Papabilisin niya. But if
Mhm.
the product or service is good, then it will catalyze the growth of that business. And that's good branding and awareness for you. So before you spend anything on advertising or marketing, make sure that you spend a lot of time, effort, and money on improving your business, your process, your products, your service, your support, whatever it is, improve that first. And then you can spend money on advertising on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or
Mhm.
wherever you plan to market your product or service to.
When people will see the value and the quality of your product or service, Then, di ba, through word of mouth, that's also one
Mm,
of the best things as well that you can have in terms of your brand awareness, yung
yeah.
testimonials talaga ng people who will try your product or service.
Yep,
Mm.
that's true. So we have an episode actually on the Leadership Stack podcast that talks about word of mouth marketing and why it's still the best form of marketing. It's free. It
Right.
hinges on the integrity of the person sharing about your product or service. I mean, hands down, if you can get word of mouth marketing for your business or brand, that's the best. And how did you learn all the legalities in business? By doing it. I'm a shoot first, aim later kind of guy. So when I was knee deep, maybe even neck deep already in the mud of entrepreneurship, then I realized, oh, I need this pala, oh, I need that pala. There are some people who helped me out because I asked them questions. There were times where I cold message people and I told them, hey, can I buy you lunch? And I just have a couple of questions. Your choice of restaurant, I'll pay. And then that was a mentorship session for me. And I knew these people. Some of them have sold businesses, some of them have been adopted to board of directors, some of them have stock shares in their company. So I asked them all of these questions. That's how I can answer all of these questions that you guys ask me now. I also learned them from other people, including books, including those mentorship dine outs or lunch outs, and also from my own experience, hiring professionals as well. Sometimes you hire an accounting firm and then you ask them questions. I know that's how I did it. Parang tuition fee ko na rin yung binabayad ko sa kanila eh. Kasi I asked them a lot of questions. Paano to? Paano yan? Paano yung deadline sa ganyan? Paano natin ito gagawin? Also for the law firm that we have, I also asked them a ton of questions. I read a lot of the Philippine laws and I tried to decipher what they mean. I've read the entire data privacy law. It's not so long. In fairness, medyo maiksi yung law natin about data privacy. I understand everything that's written there. And I have read a lot of contracts from a lot of different companies. That's how I was able to craft my own contract as well. So all of these things, you cannot really just learn it by not doing the business and researching about it. Eh. Iba eh, if you're already there in the fray, in the battlefield, fighting for your life or for your business, and then you learn all of these things, it just sticks way better and it takes on a different meaning. So that's how I did it. I'm not telling you how to do it, but you decide how you want to do it.
Oh, hey, and since you're here, can you do me a favor? Can you hit on the subscribe button and hit the bell button and select all notifications so that whenever we have a new video, you're going to be the first one to know. Until then, keep leading.
I think that the best leaders on the planet are the ones who can train others to do the job and to succeed, and then to just kind of sit on the backside and admire that, look at what this person has done who's on our team, or this executive, or this individual, or this team. Look at what they've accomplished. And that wouldn't have happened had the leader not trained them and taught them how to do it and given them the ability to do that.